was that?
The general says it's time to put Liberia first. Liberia, my people, it's time to wake up. The future is in our hands. Put Liberia first. Put Liberia first. Not for sale, we know our worth. No more rights to buy our voice. Stand up now and make the choice. Put Liberia first. Put Liberia first. One people on this earth. United we stand, divided we fall. Liberia rise. This is our call. Liberia rise. Citizens be strong, be wise. See the truth with open eyes. No let politician play your mind. Your vote not power, no leave it behind. From the village to the city street. Hard times make it hard to eat. But your future worth more than that. No sell your vote for bag of rice. My brother, my sister, think twice. We done try the same old way. Same old faces every day. Round and round like circle go. But where the progress we don't know. Put Liberia first. 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 No more popularity gain. We need leaders with a plan, not just name. Vision clear, agenda strong. That's the kind to lead us on. New ideas, a brand new face. Time to move at a better pace. How long we go? Back your clothes. When we will change, everybody knows. 16 tribes but one nation. Let's build with determination. From every county, hear the sound. Liberia rising, we stand in our ground. No more lies. Stand for truth. No more tricks. Power to the youth. One Liberia, one destiny. Rise up now. Set your people free. Put Liberia first. Put Liberia first. Put Liberia first. Liberia first. Ha, ha, ha. Liberians, the choice is yours. Think wise. Vote right for the future. For the children. Put Liberia first. Ha, ha, ha. Put Liberia first.
Right? And it's sad, it's unfortunate. Because this country, and I think, maybe you will raise other questions as we go. This country has a lot of resources. And it's about getting our fair share of resources to max, and then how we spend the money so that it impacts, again, ordinary, common Liberians, not just a few at the top. So I think the government has a lot of challenges, right? And I think if...
Yes, I'm getting you.
You can hear the other side?
Government
yes.
on these issues
the places are coming talking, you can hear
I
loud?
think they will get a feeling great.
Yeah, sure.
We got a feeling great.
Okay, good. So I believe something aware. Why George still looking? So let me put them back.
Basically, if we look around, Bracket is CDC claims they started it. Bracket is sort of completing more or less doing what CDC claimed that they started. Bracket is working on the roads all over the country. Bracket is expanding the electricity. But basically the concern has been, okay, you're doing the roads. Okay, electricity has reached to my neighborhood at last. But I need the money to spend.
Yeah, look, I think people who are saying that must be UP partisans, and they're benefiting from the country the way it is. And there are a few thousand people across the country that the current system, benefits them. But again, if we ask the ordinary, the average, the common Liberian, is your life better up to date than it was 2.5 years ago? The answer will be no. I'm pretty confident. Even this electricity,
so the would be
the way they talk about electricity, right? I refer to Christmas light. Rain season electricity corporation. So Liberia Rain Season Electricity Corporation, LRSEC. That's how we should call it. Because in the dry season, our appliances at our house, blows up, lights up and down, up and down, up and down. So where's the improvement? And with oil electricity, T-Max, you can't develop any country, right? You can't do manufacturing, just it affects everything. You can develop technology, right? And we should be using technology to help develop Liberia. So I think the government has a lot of challenge and a lot of opportunity. Now they got, 3 years ago, maybe it will get better. But the early trends are not looking encouraging.
They're not looking encouraging.
They're not encouraging.
Liberia is endowed with so many natural resources. Somebody said, I don't know, and I'll keep asking the same question myself. God's got to be God. I don't understand who this God is. But because undeservingly, and I'll put it this way, undeservingly, God has endowed on Liberia all the resources He's created. And you look around, you don't see exactly up and down, right? But we benefit from that.
Correct.
And I wouldn't put it that way because I don't want William J. Stoutman to get up in the cave and say those things. Don't have anything to show for it. We bastardized all our natural resources to the point that where the resources come from, the people live below the belt.
Yeah.
My point is, we bastardized all of them.
Correct.
With the exception of the new Virgin that is on the road that everybody wants to be chasing. Let's look at the mining sector. The Virgin now is put to mine. All our money, if you go to B Mountain, if you go to ArcelorMittal, if you go to Western Cluster, if you go to all of them, more or less in a way, have been occupied by foreigners. Mining all. We don't see that. What are we missing? Are we then negotiating on the table? What comes to Liberia? If we want to extract it, what do I have to show? How should we not manage this?
Yeah. So the first thing I would say, I disagree with you that we don't deserve the natural resources. You said undeservedly.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't agree with
what does it benefit?
But what
do you show for?
But that's up to us. What we do it, that's on us. But we deserve. We have in our natural resources, G-Max. Look, there are multiple ways I want to talk about natural resources. I used to say consistently in the past, and I'm saying it now, that we are a rich country and we poor people. That's the disconnect.
You don't deserve it.
It doesn't. No.
No. How can you be rich and be poor?
But that's
you don't deserve it.
That's because we're not managing it well. Not that we don't deserve it. And so let's talk to the management of the natural resources. Look, I went to Wiswa. I think maybe it was 2021, 2022. And Wiswa used to be,
the Diamond Hall.
Yeah, the young people don't know that. Our older guys and girls know this. It used to be the diamond, call it the diamond capital of Liberia. And I went there in like in 2019, somewhere, whenever, in the past. And Tim has almost all the diamond gone, and there is nothing to show for in Wiswa. No high school, no healthcare clinic, at least at the time, no electricity. You couldn't hardly get cell phone signal. It's crazy, right? And it also goes back to the point I keep seeing, we keep doing the same thing over and over and over, and we expect different results. This concession model has not worked. It doesn't work. We need to change it. I actually did a podcast on it. I encourage people to go online and visit what I said about what we should do differently, and we can talk about that now. Look, T-Max, if we're managing our resources well for the benefit of Liberian people, no Liberian should go to bed hungry. Literally, if we're managing resources, look, I saw somebody send me a clip from the former Mines and Energy Minister, Wimape, where he said, and I don't know whether this is true or not, but I'm repeating what he said, that at one point, B Mountain gold was in gold value a week. It's online. You see, right? So if you multiply that by 52 weeks, that's the $1.6 billion. Let's say you cut that in half. Let's say cut it by 50%. That's the $800 million, right?
From one sector.
From one sector. From one concessionaire in one sector, right? And according to him, we get $50 million a year. the government of Liberia, according to him.
According to Pay.
Yeah. So
half of $1 billion.
If those numbers are true, and as even you cut it in half, let's say you're wrong by 50%, that's $800 million. There's something wrong with how we manage it. No Liberian should go hungry if we manage our resources correctly. And we need to change the way we manage our resources and get value. T-Max, we should be the experts in rubber, in diamonds. We should know from the time the shovel goes ground to take the iron ore or the gold, whatever, to the time the company pay dividends to their shareholder. We should understand our value chain so that when we go to negotiate, we're getting fair share. Look, these companies that make money too, they are investing, they have to get a return. But we got to stand that. So you talk about Putu. Does the government have the expertise? Let me finish.
You're going to the French.
Let me finish.
Yeah, I know you'll go to the French. You're making me crazy, really, because if you look at the volume of natural resources we have and where they are being exploited, you don't see that sort of, how do I call it? You don't see that shown in the faces of those that live in those areas. Doesn't that tell you that our model in negotiation
is wrong?
It's wrong, or
of course, and it's very wrong, very poor. I mean, and it is unconscionable that our leaders, both in executive and legislative branches, is that they can sleep at night, knowing what's happening to our natural resources and the poverty you see in Cape Mount, in Nima, in all the places we got in Bomi. I mean, it's. I don't know how to sleep, right? We need to change the model. Look, there are different ways we can do what they call production sharing, where we get a certain percent. We do the arithmetic, we do the math. That's what I said. We got to understand the value chain. We do the math, we do the percentage, and say, look, X percent of what you produce, give it to us. We'll sell it on the open market. We'll take the market risk, because when you don't do that, the current model, the price go down. They say they're paying us less in royalty, but it's still mining though. The mines are going, we're getting less money, but the same quantity of iron ore goes. So just give us our percent, we manage, or we set up a natural resource company. Other countries have done that. The example I like to use, because I think it's the successful one, is in Saudi Arabia. Aramco, the Saudi government said, we got the oil, we will go borrow money, because that's the collateral you use, right? We will hire the expertise. They can be Saudis, they can be from wherever, but we will own it, we will run it, and the Saudi people own Aramco as one of the most valuable companies. We can say on Putu, let's go raise the money. Again, it's more complicated than I'm making it simplistic. It's more complicated than what I'm saying, but it's an option, right? Let's go raise the money. The ore is the collateral. Let's start the company. Government owns it, hires the people to run it, and let's mine it. If we're going to use others, right, then let's change the concession agreement, because we're not getting full value. And the those resources and the whole country is not benefiting natural resources. So shame on us as a people. We deserve it. We got to manage it better. And the alternatives, there are different ways of doing it. Why we keep doing the same kind of agreement?
And that's my question to you. Why we keep doing it? It doesn't work for the population, and why we keep doing it?
Yeah, again, in fact, as a country generally, we keep doing the same thing and expect different results. Definition of insanity, right? According to Einstein, we gotta do differently. We need different models. We need different people with different experiences to lead this effort, right? We can, again, you look at Putu. Do we understand the full value of that resource? Do we understand who buys iron ore today?
Who needs it now?
Do we understand that? The Chinese. Americans are self-sufficient in more or less iron ore, right? India imports some, but not much. The country that really imports iron ore today in huge quantity is China. Other countries do, but I mean in huge quantities, right? So should we be focused on working with the Chinese, for example, right? Do we understand the economics? Do we understand what it would take to do the port? to build the roads, to actually do the mining? Do we understand the math, the arithmetic?
So,
We need to understand that. So then we're negotiating, then we'll know how much to ask for, how much return they gotta make, etc., etc. And we appear to not care about it. People get some small money they think is big dollars. In the meantime, the resources leaving, and our people remain poor.
So in other words, we have the resources. God, according to you, is blessed us with those resources. Our problem is we don't have the competence. We don't understand how it works. That's why we are being just cut down, and just guys come mine the minerals, give up whatever it is, and we are in the way we are.
It's not. It's we don't have the interest, to really try to get again full value, right? It's understanding that value chain, but it's having the interest to push ourselves to say,
it's an interest or the experience to.
It's both.
It's both.
But it starts with interest. You gotta start with as the leader. You gotta say, look, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen,
this is not working.
This is not working. Go and tell me what are different options for how we can do this. Go and study again the economics, the arithmetic, the value chain of iron ore. Let's understand again from the time the shovel go on the ground to the time whoever money pay their shareholders. Let's understand fully how much it costs, how much they invest, the markets, the product, how is it used? Can we add value? Do we need to work with the Guineans to do a steel mill? Because iron ore on both sides of the border, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's how you add value to iron ore. Do we understand this? Are we asking the right questions? If we don't have the expertise, let's go back to the expertise. I was in Rwanda a few weeks ago, as you probably know, and there's an African country that works, right? What the Rwandans did 20 plus years ago, where they didn't have the expertise, they went and got the expertise. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they were Rwandese who were in the diaspora. Canadians, French, Americans, Ugandan diasporas, right? But they got the expertise to understand what to do. President Kagame set up an economic a group of advisors that came from different countries in Africa and Europe, right? Get the expertise, ask the questions, right? If you want to know, let's go get the expertise. We shouldn't be embarrassed. The objective is let's get good value for our resources. However we want to.
I don't know what you did. That's it. So have you talked to him about that?
We have not spoken about that specifically, but I'm saying now public, I'm happy to think about how should.
Because my fear is that this last version we have on the roadside, this put if it's not properly managed, if we don't get a real value of our put, if we didn't learn from our fiasco enrichment of the different mindsets,
we get the same result.
We get the same result.
Right.
So let it be the project.
Correct.
But I give it to you as a project.
I'm happy to offer advice, offer support, offer expertise, to share what I know. There are other experts. We need to get geologists, other experts together, right? But let's get a group of experts. Let's start with Liberians. See where Liberians have the expertise and some of that exists, right? And then where there are gaps, let's go and acquire it. Let's put that team together. Happy to advise them to be involved. Put that team together and let them come and recommend how we should export Putu. And there's Wologisi. We ain't even talk about that one yet, right? I'm sure there are more gold deposits in Liberia, right? There's diamonds, right? All of these things, let's understand. If we want to understand diamonds, let's go to Botswana. They got lots of diamonds. Let's learn from them, right? But we gotta get the expertise, right? And then we can negotiate to get fair share so our people can benefit from the resources of this country. We'll be hot, 178.
178.
179, 178 this year.
By July, you'll be
by July, right? I mean, and one of the poorest countries in Africa.
And we call it growth without development.
I mean, it's crazy. It's disheartening, to be honest.
Liberia just as old as Matosila.
Yeah.
Just can't be wise or something. It's fun.
It's that. And a few people, you know, benefit, they eat the money, you know, the corruption, the stealing, you know, mismanagement, and let them talk continue to suffer. Right. That's what I'm saying. If you look at the life of the ordinary average Liberian teacher, healthcare worker, motorcyclist, their life hasn't changed for the last.
Let's get to another section. Let's what we say based on what we're talking about. We are being duped in this section when we're talking about the mining section is because in my mind we don't have the expertise, we don't have the education that is required to be forceful when we get on the table to negotiate. We don't. Let's look at our area of education on the biker.
So yeah, again, in all of these sectors, TMAX, you know, things are not improving. For education, I think we should be focused, and this is in the ANC manifesto, right? We have 7 priorities with education. One, we said teacher training, teachers at every level, university, secondary, right? Make sure you got qualified teachers. Make sure they're trained. Make sure they're well paid. Today, the country has mostly, I say mostly because I don't have the exact number, I shoot, but volunteer teachers. So, which is a good thing. So we thank them. And they are, that's my point. And we thank them for volunteering, by the way. We acknowledge, we thank them. But that cannot be the system we have, right? We got to train these teachers, make sure they're qualified to teach the subject matter, right? And make sure they're paid adequately because they're entrusted with the future of the country. They're entrusted with our young people. If we don't train our young people, if they don't educate, they don't have the skills, the country will get even worse, right? So teachers training, vocational training, right? Giving people carpentry. If you're going to develop infrastructure, if you're going to grow the economy, we didn't even talk about the economy yet, which is the other area I understand pretty well. You got to have an educated populace, right? If you're going to develop infrastructure, you need carpenters, you need plumbers, you need masons, you know, electricians, so on and so forth, right? So you need 2 educational tracks. You need to make sure educational standards, both in the government schools, you got high standards, right? And make sure in the private schools, you got high standards as well, right? So again, there's a big opportunity to improve. You know, the budget is now up to apparently $1.2 billion, but we're allocating it the same way we allocated in the past. So even though it's a bigger number, and by the way, we predicted it should have been that number a while ago. But if you keep allocating this recurring expenses, the country will not be.
So let's look at that area of education. What is it that we want? Have the teachers trained. It's one aspect of having them trained. The guy can be trained if he's done satisfactorily, compensated. That might affect.
But that's my point. You got to do both. You got to make sure they're trained, and you got to pay them well. In fact, you got to pay all civil servants what I call living wage. Again, if we manage these natural resources, $400 to $500 a month should be minimum. Teachers, healthcare workers, policemen, military people, that should be the salary for them to pay, buy food, pay their rent, pay their children tuition, God forbid they get sick. You know, be able to go to the hospital, make sure the hospitals are, you know, got the drugs and trained nurses, midwives, doctors, etc., etc. But again, it's about the use of our natural resources. It's about investing in the people. You know, the ANC, we gotta say one of our beliefs: investing in health care, right? In creating jobs, that's investing. We gotta make sure the money is touching the ordinary, the common life. That's it, persistent that happens. And how we measure performance, how we measure success should be based on that. Yes, GDP growth, important metric, right? All these other macro growth, but the average, ordinary, common Liberian had the lives of
must be able to interpret that.
You gotta be able to interpret it. You gotta feel it.
Let's look ahead. We'll take our break, please. I want to lay down some basic things before we open the line. So
Just give me 5 more minutes, so let me lay the basis of that. Let me not generalize health as it is. I want to look at one specific, the scare that is in Liberia now, Ebola. With all my sins, I always trust my God that it will not be a problem that will not be able to solve. That's what the Bible teaches me, and that's what I overwhelmingly believe. The times you came to Liberia first and contributed to Ebola were our fight against Ebola. And Liberia recorded a success story of how Liberia managed that. Our first experience to Ebola. So we had a success story. So Ebola is behind us. And we have COVID. And because we learned from Ebola, we're able to face COVID as well. We don't never have that sort of casualty like we had when we had Ebola because our ignorance of what the stuff was, based on our traditional beliefs and cultural beliefs. It kept us in that, mini Ebola. The scares that we were hearing now, which are different, disjointed, non-coordinated the information dissemination to the public, this the fear came in Ebola. And we talk about different categories of people in that sector of health. The fear was that we have Ebola. Somebody said, I had a meeting with my boss, and boss told us that Ebola is here. We have some guys from some part of Africa, from the east, from the DRC, and from Uganda. They're in Liberia. They are about 16. They're showing signs and symptoms of Ebola. So she told our co-workers, only for us to know that she was arrested for giving false information to the public. She was then authorized to do that. So we don't have Ebola. Quite strangely, the government of Liberia paraded in the streets of Monrovia 25 new ambulances with a view of preparedness for the fall of Ebola but to come. Then the Anfield people say in no uncertain terms, there is no Ebola. Anfield is what we believe when it comes to this infectious disease. All the simple, the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare presented a budget of $4.2 million, which is captioned as Ebola preparedness. What are you reading?
So, we, again, I keep going to my first statement, you keep doing this thing and expect different results, G-Max. We need to take this Ebola risk seriously. And even if we don't have Ebola in the country, and we should give the government the benefit of the doubt. They're in charge, they say we don't have the Ebola. We should still be focusing on Ebola prevention and preparedness and awareness, right? Because it's a serious, and we know the devastation it did to our country. All of the government entities should be working together. They should be coordinating. This is not a time to be trying to, steal money, make money on the backs of this risk, this national risk. We know killed thousands of our people, right? As you suggested, in 2014, we actually came to the country, we brought a delegation, we brought supplies, PPE, etc., etc. So the government should be coordinating all the entities. The focus should be on awareness and prevention, and just reminding Liberians of what we need to do, right, so that it doesn't come to the country, assuming it's not here yet. So preparedness, awareness, coordination, right? That's where we should be focused when it comes to Ebola right now, right? And that coordination among government entities, that focus, who's in charge, just to make sure what are we doing at airports, what are we doing at border crossings, right? Those are places where potentially the disease can come in. So what are the specific actions we're taking there? Mind Liberians, so that's what the emphasis should be. It's reminders, awareness,
to just get those behaviors and habits. That's what we should be focused on now. As so many governments right there is not in the country, you do those things, you will prevent it from coming, and or if it's here, we prevent it from spreading. That's where we should be focused.
Are the numbers justified?
I don't know, to be honest. I can't say whether. I think the former head of Enfield was saying it's only Dubai only 1.3. As for 4.1, I don't want to. I don't have the expertise to say which is which. But
what are you reading?
But the government, the government should know what is required and they should provide the resources, right? This is why the coordination is important, to make sure the left and the right hand, Ministry of Health, Enfield, all the partners work together, come with a budget, and the resources should be provided. So again, we avoid Ebola coming back to harm our country, harm our people. The economic consequences, the deaths to families, the number of people that die, but shame on us. Shame on us if we're not.
Are we really serious about this? I wouldn't call it because Dwayne said there is no sign and symptom of Ebola in Liberia. So if you hear from such a czar of infectious disease, you got no option but to believe what you say.
And that's why I say
so what are the figures? He said when during this time they used $3.3 million when people were coming to town to help Liberia get Liberia back, of course. This number for preparedness in this mind, the numbers are astronomical.
It sounds suspicious, but again, I don't have the expertise to determine that. I think the government needs to figure out what the right number is and then provide the resources to make sure. Again, the focus should be on prevention, on awareness, right? Assuming it's not here, and we take them at their word that it's not here, but let's prevent it.
Let's prevent it. Yeah. This program is brought to you as someone has from Prime FM 105.5, Joy FM 101.5, and Kiet FM 95.9. And this is 50/50 on Sky 107. Our special studio guest is Alexander Benedict Cummings. He is the political leader of the ANC. Let's take our break and be right back.
There's a place for the team. We are excited to announce the arrival Ford, BMW, or Mercedes. We got you covered. But that's not all.
Yeah, you can manage it now.
Uptown Garage, we offer state-of-the-art car repair service to keep your vehicles running like new. From genuine auto parts to top-quality batteries and premium.
Okay, we will come back again right after the commercial from Sky. And this is the Kia Radio, and this is the Independent Minds for a Better Liberia. So you're listening to him, share the video. If you listen to us on radio, we'll open the phone lines so you get your thoughts and your how you feel about the interview and what are some of the things that you heard him saying. And it's not strange. He has been saying a lot of stuff. So don't forget, when he come back, we'll still continue the conversation. This is live on Top FM in Grand Gillette. It's on the radio and also on D3 in Sano County. So, guys, today is Tuesday, and this is the Independent Minds for a Better Liberia. And we are trying to carry the Alex Cummings interview live on Sky FM and on Broad Street and one of our sister stations. So, my name is Munel Kishen, and wherever you are, please be free and share the video for us. If you are watching, continue to share and just keep following us. Well, I've been saying that we need to give Alex Cummings a chance. We need to give him a chance. Please, guys, we need to give Mr. Cummings a chance to see how best the ideas are there. Sometimes you say, oh, we don't know him and whatsoever. So, but you know him. You are saying that you know him. You just choose not to do it, you know. And I also saw a comment or statement from Kimaya, and it's laughable. And President Weah will be contesting. No one is stopping President Weah from contesting this election. It is his right to do it. But we just say that. Let us remember this. Everyone has a record, especially when you serve. So that record will be debated. That record will be talked about. So we are not afraid whether President we are contest or not. But we believe that if you go in a church, we expect you to speak the truth. He stood behind the pulpit before and he said he will not contest. So who should believe? I believe him. He said it, he was on stage. So if Kimaya want to come back to power, that's good for him.
And Soul Clinic behind the Soul Clinic populist.
And also let me bring Lofa. I will bring Lofa on. Lofa will be after the show, after this interview, he will weigh in. So if Kimaya is saying that President Weah will contest the election, nobody should say whatsoever. Hey, nobody have a problem with that. But President Weah made it clear 2 times that he will not contest. He said it in his church. So if President Weah considers himself a man of God and a pastor that will go in church and speak out and say, I will not contest. If Kimaya want to come back, it's fine. It's up to him. But we believe what President Weah says. So right after the commercial, then we will come back on. And Lofa, how are you this morning?
I'm doing wonderful, man, and I'm sorry that I had to turn my camera off because I was going on about.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
right. But I wanted to, I definitely wanted to be a part of this conversation today, and I want to focus on. I really want to focus on what Mr. Cummings is educating the people on. You know, today, Mr. Cummings' presence and interview here is like normally we have what is a free doctor in Liberia. Yeah. Where the doctors go in the community, they say, bring your kids so that we can either provide medication or we can tend to them, and it's free. So I want us to focus on that. Let the people benefit from it. As for Kumaya and other things, those things, we will discuss those things. But right now, we have free education. This is a man who is asking the Liberian people to elect him as president, but he is selflessly giving advice to the government as to how the government can better the people's life. Now, he's not saying, any other person would say, let the government reach out to me first before I help. He's giving out free advices as to how we can utilize our resources to better the people's life. Mr. Cummings is saying, why are our people suffering? Why are we underpaying police officers? Why are we underpaying nurses? Why are we underpaying doctors? This is what he's talking about. So I think it's very important that we give the people the chance to listen to Mr. Cummings as he addresses it, because he himself, listening to his voice, he is very passionate about the true transformation that we want in Liberia.
Okay, we're back. Let's just listen.
Do you believe that some of the legislation in Mambaka will be the accused of these outrageous mishaps? Have you ever thought that will happen on his wife?
Yeah.
If they are true,
correct.
We know you very well.
Yeah. Look, in fact, if you look at the arrest agenda, the rescue agenda, rule of law was one of the things they talked about prominently. And as you said, the example, removal of the speaker, removal of Yaka Koluba, disobeying a court order regarding the tenure positions, these are not good examples. I don't know the merits of the case against Samuel Tuer, but he was found not guilty. Rather than appeal, go to the appellate process, they started to say, oh, it was jury tampering, even though the jury was dismissed. I mean, it's like, if you think you got evidence, the jury found a man not guilty, then appeal. I mean, follow the process on, try to create new process. It's disappointing, right?
You almost a president because president get bigger ears and bigger eyes. Some people say president have the third eye that we don't see. In your presidential eye,
can we give it a little bit more volume?
Do you think the jury will tamper with?
I don't know. I can't control it from here.
But that's not my job.
It's from the station. It's from
to make that determination. That's the Justice Department or whoever's prosecuting. I assume the Justice Department. They make that determination. But again, there's a process for how you go about that. You gotta have evidence. You can't just declare or assert that there's jury tampering or proof or evidence, etc. And then my understanding is that the trial for not
The jurors went home.
Jurors went home was there's been all kinds of then. So there's ineptitude, incompetence, or vindictiveness, or whatever, right? Look, it appears that they only go after corruption from the former government. They're looking at themselves. If you want to be credible, if the former government did corrupt act and the evidence is there, follow the evidence, not the individual, the evidence. Whatever evidence leads, do that. But then you gotta look at yourself to be credible. Look at your government, your actions. What are you doing? And if there's again corruption there, you prosecute yourself. Then like Rampo's okay, the people serious about this thing now. They're not just going after the people in opposition, but they're also going after the own people who are corrupt and stealing, etc., etc. But again, back to this rule of law, there's a trend here that is alarming, that is concerning. And again, I don't care what the Unity Party people say.
Is the trend of
There's a
opposition?
trend.
Is
There's a
the
trend.
trend designed for opposition?
It appears to be, right? It appears to be. So again, there's stuff happening today. I'm sure in the Unity Party government, they should be investigating, prosecuting, etc., etc., right? And these are happening across the board, not just, picking a few people.
So what you people are saying, the opposition is saying that 12 was charged 5 charges. 12 got cleared by the jurors, and juror was disbanded and went home.
Correct.
And 12 was 12 is called by. Is that what you call political witch-hunt?
Yeah, it goes from prosecution now to persecution. That's the shift, right? The government had every right, if they had the evidence, to charge, to go through the judicial process. Again, I'm not privy to the evidence, but that's the process to go through. But if you go through the process and the jury said the man not guilty, then you follow the process, then you appeal. There's an appellate process, right? That's how it should have been done. In my mind, I'm not a lawyer, but my layman's view of the law, that's how that process should have carried on. You let the jury go, and then you come back. And it appears the judge may have been under some pressure to do what he did. I don't know, but that's the appearance, right? But those are not good signs, right? When you think about rule of law. And you add that to the other examples that you mentioned, getting rid of the speaker, getting rid of the sitting representative. I still haven't seen the basis or the proof for Yaka being expelled. You look at what happened with the tenure positions. Again, there's a trend here. These are just facts.
If we gotta look at Yaka's case, you think that Yaka did some stuff. Yaka took oath when he was taking office as representative to protect the sovereignty of Liberia. And it's a nation to the fact that the land in question is not Liberians, it's Kenyans.
But how is making
How did he arrive at that?
But how is making that statement illegal? How is that basis for expelling him? He's wrong. He shouldn't have made a statement. He's wrong. But is that a reason to expel him? How is that treason?
It's a violation of his oath of office.
Is it?
Yeah.
What does the oath say?
The oath says you gotta be for Liberia, protect Liberia, respect the Constitution and the territorial integrity of Liberia. And he just blew that off.
Just to be clear, I disagree 500%, 1000% with his statement, his assertion. But
why you disagree with that?
I don't see
why you disagree with that.
Because
it's not something that
because they're not forgetting.
But how did he arrive? But how did he arrive?
I don't know. That's not the point. The land is not forgetting, so I disagree with the statement completely. I would not have said it. I don't know. But it's not the point how he arrived at that, didn't arrive at that. How does that constitute treason? How is that breaking the law?
It's a betrayal of the state.
Oh, come on.
You become an enemy of the state. Especially someone in that area of
that's complete nonsense. Right? He shouldn't have made a statement. He was wrong for saying it, but that's not a basis for impeachment, for him to lose his seat. So that part is where maybe you and I disagree on that part. False statement, shouldn't have made it. You can call it irresponsible, whatever. Not a basis for impeaching Yaka.
So let me take it back to the reason why Yaka was expelled. The issue of Liberia and Guinea at the border. Like I said, what are you hearing? What is the state of of aid now.
The
Are the Guineans there?
the sad thing is we're hearing nothing official, and the government should be telling us what's going on. So as you know, we did a post on this subject. There were three things we said should be happening in no particular order. One, we said there should be an investigation of what precipitated, what caused this thing to happen. We need to understand, and the government needs to make it public, investigate impartially, get the fact, what caused it. It didn't just happen. The Guineans didn't just get up and decide to come across the river. Let's understand that, because when you understand that, then you can find solutions, right? If we did something wrong, and we understand that, we can say to the Guineans, they're our brothers, our cousins, right? We can say, my man, look, we did this, it was wrong, we're not doing it again, let's just go back to status quo, right? Let me finish now, let me finish. That's one. So investigate, let's understand what caused it, right? Then the diplomacy can take over. The second thing we said is, those people that were displaced, the government needs to look after them. It's nothing they did. They got displaced, they should be looked after. And then third, the diplomatic route, right, to try to resolve it with the goal of returning to status quo, returning to where we were before. But part of that process is to understand what caused it, so it doesn't happen again.
So you think what caused it?
I don't know what caused it. The government needs to investigate. There are allegations, there are assertions for what caused it. It would be irresponsible for me to repeat those things, right? So let the government investigate, right? There were assertions around illegal mining in the river, etc. There were people accused of doing that. I don't know whether that's true or not. The government should investigate, make public what happened, make sure it doesn't happen again. Go have a discussion with our Guinean brothers. Again, on both sides of the border, same tribes, same family members. I mean, we're all the same people in the sub-region. These borders are somewhat.
Don't you ask GNB in Kenya? How is the border? You think that was intentional?
I have no idea why he was asking the president that question.
The soldiers are on our land. You ask him how's the border.
And how did the president respond? Right? That's the question, right? So, and again, I don't know what your response was, President Bokai.
So, as we speak, the Guineans are on Liberian soil.
That's what is being asserted, that they're on Liberian soil. But again, this is where, if that's not true,
if you were president, and something like this, I don't know how would you have addressed it. Because the things I said, that is making a joke and fun out of Liberia. When the soldiers are on our land, he's asking our president, how is the border?
How we should have handled it is what I said earlier. We would have investigated to understand what happened, right? To get the facts. And based on those facts, would have gone to the diplomatic side, back to the Guineans, in the Mana River, ECOWAS, whoever, to say, look, this is what happened. We will make sure it doesn't happen again. I don't know what it was, right? And so with the goal that we return to status quo, where the border lines were before. And as I said, we will look after those people that were impacted, were displaced, right? And again, depending on what that investigation led to, if there were meant to be consequences for any infractions, we would have made sure the consequences followed the results of the investigation.
Why do you think that Mana River Union is not taking up the case? Why do you think ECOWAS is not taking up the case? Why do you think AU is not taking the case? Let alone the United Nations. Why are we in this state of doing nothing about it?
Well, the question is, have we put it on the agenda of the Mana River Union? Have we put it on the agenda of ECOWAS, of the African Union, right? That is up to us. And again, the government should be telling us what's happening. What are they doing? Is it on the agenda? What is being discussed? What outcomes are we trying to get at? Again, understanding what caused this, because again, it didn't just happen. Something caused it. If you understand that, that's the basis for all subsequent conversations.
You think if we're in the wrong that resulted to this political quagmire, we would have gone on bended knees, right? No, yeah, I'm sorry, it wouldn't happen again. If we're in the wrong.
Yeah, if we're in the wrong, yeah, we go and say, look, this is what happened. We'll not let it happen again. Let's go back to
take a status
quo. Yeah,
take a status quo. Correct.
And maybe those conversations.
Is it embarrassing to you also, Liberian, that Guineans are?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it not a state? It's an act of aggression
Absolutely. But again, we gotta understand. Again, I don't think the Guineans just got up in the morning and said we're going across the road and take Liberian land. I think something precipitated that. We need to understand what that is. Till when we understand that, then we can figure out what the solution is. The solution may be to go back to the Guineans and maybe go to the Monetary Union. But unless we understand,
and none of those institutions are taking this very seriously.
Is unless we understand what caused
why are they not getting involved?
I don't know, because maybe we're not telling them what caused it and how they can help to resolve it, right? Because our land is being infringed upon.
Mm-hmm.
We need to take the lead, investigate, and then have the conversations about how we go back to the status quo.
Okay, we have two more questions before I open the lines. This letter that you sent to LACC, in a way, informing LACC, they're not giving you the likes of LOFA project, that's how they call it. One that letter and one else, LACC told you talk about corruption, the LOFA project, what it's for, only said it was funding aid. And you want LACC to prove that.
Yeah, but those are all the questions, right? Look, we in the ANC...
Are you suspecting corruption?
I don't know. We in the ANC are very supportive of development.
Mm-hmm.
We need to develop the country.
Mm-hmm.
But let's do it the right way. There are reasons why we got laws on the books, we got processes, we got procurement rules, we got legislative rules about who procures money, how money is allocated. All we're saying is, let's follow the rules. You likely could have done that same project and just follow the rules if that was the president's ambition or whoever's ambition was. Just follow the rules. Now we have a situation where we don't know. You raised the question. We don't know who is doing what. We don't know where the money is coming from. We get conflicting statements. We get statement from the information minister saying one thing, the minister of public was saying something else. I think the presidency, the office, saying something else. Presidency didn't know about it. We just want to understand who's in charge. Where's the money coming from? Did they follow the process? Did the legislature approve it? These are simple questions. Because again, are these monies that's being used that should be paying teachers more, healthcare workers more, right? Civil servants more. It is money we use to invest in education, to invest in healthcare.
What are you smelling?
Right? So
what are you smelling?
I am saying,
mm-hmm.
We are saying,
mm-hmm.
the ANC is saying,
mm-hmm.
LACC tell us. They will tell us whether it has been or not. They need to investigate and tell us, yes, all the processes were followed. This is what the government went through the procurement process. They got these number of bids. The legislature, approved it. The money is coming from, XYZ. That's their job. Let them tell us.
That's what you need.
That's what we need. Or they can come and say the rules were not followed.
As the LCC responded,
they have not responded to us yet. And we will give them, another week or so, because again, I think disrespectful, and again, maybe it's part of why we keep doing this, seeing to expect different results, right? But let's see. Then we'll take it to the next step, whether we go get more information. Next step, whether we go to court to compel them to act. But we'll wait and see, give them some time to come to react. But we just want to know who's doing what, how it happened. They said the state enterprises are funding it. Is that what they should be doing? Is that the process for how we, construct, etc.? There was criticism in the past of the we are government and building condominium houses. Are we doing the same in a different way? I don't know. These are questions, right? We can't keep doing the same and expect different results, right? This is why our country don't move forward. Right? We just have to be disciplined. Follow the process. We shouldn't be any exceptions, right? We had the big shop business. If now in my time to chop, we gotta change that mentality. It's gotta be about the people.
You think I got that yes to chop? You got no yes at all.
That's not the point. And I'm not saying the president chop or not. That's not the point I'm making.
But you should follow the rest.
You should follow the process.
Okay.
There's a reason why those processes were put in place.
Mm-hmm.
Not just abuse. Let's just follow the process. Maybe they did nothing wrong, but let them tell us.
Okay,
But it seems suspicious, right?
my time is running out, but I got 2 more questions. Please, just give me a chance to look at. When Taylor was interviewing, when the NEC designate appeared before the Honorable Liberian Assembly, Taylor asked him a question regarding 2% threshold. I'm not saying that would affect you though, because the ANC did
not. But
the ANC did not participate in 2023 national elections. The CPP did. So they issued this noise about 1%. That 1% is attributed to the CPP, not to ANC. What are you reading?
So just to clear the air and the law, and look, I think Dylan knew this. We were playing politics. I think it was when the LACC letter we sent to the LACC, and I think we were trying to distract, etc. But the law is very clear. It's both things have to occur before you're barred.
Mm-hmm.
So in the case of the CP, but the CP got legislators elected. So on that basis, even this, if I wanted to run again as CPP, I can run again.
You get me?
Because the CPP had less than 2%, but got representatives, right? One from Nima, one from Maryland, one from Grand Crew. It goes. There's I think 4 or 5 at least, right? And even in 2020, the CPP, Dylan is a CPP senator, as is Youngly, etc., etc. Mm-hmm. So, on a pure CPP basis, I could run again on CPP. The second point you made about the ANC was not about it, right? So ANC is not affected by that at all, right? So, we go on that basis. And the law applies to the institution, not to the individual.
Okay.
Right? So on that basis, but look, we're clean politics. No,
but if the individual represents the institution.
No.
Except as you said.
I'm not a lawyer, but my understanding is not candidates who won, right? So CPP would qualify if it chose to. And in addition to that, the ANC was not on the ballot in 2023. So the ANC, who I represent, can participate.
Now the ANC will take.
But look again. This was meant to be political. It meant to be a distraction. Look, I know the nominee, was he confirmed? Wida? He understands the rules and he will apply the rules. And we know the rules as well. So I'm not worried about that. But look, they were playing politics. And we'll play politics with them too. Hey, you want to run again in 2029? People reaching out to me, Tim Max, 2 pretty strong candidates. So this thing can work, right? I remember when they were prosecuting me, I said,
was it the CPP that made Dylan to win?
There would be
was it the CPP
I said there will be consequences.
Was it the CPP that made Dylan to win?
Let people keep doing this. We'll see.
We'll see.
I won't say too much more. Let's move on to your next subject.
That's a threat to the law.
No, I'm not threatening. I'm not threatening.
Say you don't have chance for the CPP.
I'm not threatening anybody. That's not my style.
Is there anything in your mind? There are 2 major political giants on the field already. More or less, I'll tell you, they are already stand candidates for 2029 elections. Historically, election-wise, history has told us no single political party has ever gone to the polls. Come from there, also we know you gotta be allies. You gotta be collaboration. What is the ANC thinking?
Yeah, no, look, we always have been.
Will you be aligned with the Unity Party or will you be aligned with the CDC?
We have always been open to collaboration and alignment. Mm-hmm. And in fact, naively, so some would say, in the way we did it with the CPP, when the people who were collaborating with, lied on me, took me to court, lied on the oath. So we will collaborate differently. We learn from our mistakes, right? But we're open to collaboration. It's early. It's still 3.5 years to go.
What might you collaborate with?
There are other political parties, in the country we will talk to.
They are happy that political parties.
What's that?
Happy that political parties.
There are other political parties in the country, including the 2 big parties, CDC and Unity Party, and we're open to collaboration with everybody, right? The key for me, there's several keys. One is we have to be clear on what we want to achieve for the country. We're not just going to collaborate just to take state power, just one set of people come and other people leave.
Your ideas when I like about ideas.
Ideas. I'm so clear that if we're going to go into collaboration, we will spend a lot of time agreeing what we want to do for the country. What is quote unquote the agenda? We're not wait till we get office before
it
we
will
do
not be
agenda.
business as usual.
It will not be business as usual. We got to be clear on that because that provides the basis for the collaboration in terms of how you will work together in government, who will do what, who will take what position. It has to be in the context of what you're trying to achieve, and it's got to be what we want to achieve for the ordinary, for the common Liberian. And we need to be clear. We need to make it public. Liberian people need to know. We need to commit kind of a contract with Liberia. This is what we want to do. This is why we're collaborating, and then everything else can flow from that. But we open the collaboration with any institution that is aligned on what we need to do for the country. That it cannot be doing the same thing and expect different results. We got to do things differently. We got the rules that apply to everybody. We got to put in systems and processes because that's how you. I'll go back to my Rwanda visit. The last time I was in Rwanda was more than 15 years ago, and I was just there in the last 3 weeks. This is an African country. It is so impressive to me. Everything works. By the time you come to the airport, you don't need a visa, right? Get your passport for any African country. They ask you what you're there for, how long you're here for, what you stay. It's time your passport. No. You go to the customs, everybody go through. No big shot. Coming passing in the line, everybody's in the line, right? The rules apply. The country is clean. No dirt. Everybody, they follow the rules. They stop at the traffic light. They cross at the crosswalk. Discipline, process, predictability. They do zoning, residential area, areas for businesses, offices, areas for factories. You know, and this is Africa. They use technology. I didn't see anybody using cash. Everybody using mobile money.
Cashless society.
Almost. I don't know if 100%, but my experience for the 3 days I was there, right? People, you pay for taxi, you pay in the restaurant, you pay a hotel, everything. People just use them. Everybody, mobile money, technology, right? E-government, right? This is Africa. These are Africans. They're not any smarter than you and I, right? And process systems is predictable, repeatable. You know what to expect. That's what we need to do in Liberia. And it can be done.
It can be done.
It can be done.
When people were in opposition, when Georgia was in power, the opposition was more or less aggressive, energized. I wouldn't say noisy. You predicted one of your interviews that Georgia would be a one-term president. That came to pass. Just like Baka seemed to subdue all the opposition, and everybody is quiet.
Well, I'm not quiet. I mean, I'm here having this conversation. Look, we'll continue to call them out, right? And as you know, my criticisms are not personal. Literally, I mean, I consider you a friend. I know President Boyka.
Everybody knows that.
I
You
get
go
to
from
know.
CWB is I don't want to call it. It's a society. It's a club. I'm not CWB people.
I know President. We are, and look, as leaders, we should know each other. We're not enemies.
I don't know why you boys ever have breakfast.
We're not enemies.
Why would you boys ever have breakfast?
We will organize it. So it's not personal, right? I've said this before, and even the ANC people don't like me saying this. People say, "Oh, you're putting it." I want the government to be successful. I make no apology for saying that, because if they are successful, that means the suffering is less. That's what we want. If it makes it harder to replace them, that's a good thing. We should be pushing each other. We should be in a race to the top, not a race to the bottom, not pulling each other down, right? So my criticism is not personal. It's based on facts. It's based on the record of what people are doing, what they're saying, what they're not doing, what they're not saying. And we make no apologies for holding the government accountable.
You think JB man wrong?
I don't know. I think so. Look, the reason why I say I think
You
so.
think-
Let me finish that. It's an important answer. First of all, I don't know, right? But I'm a little bit of student of history. I don't want to overstate it, but I read a lot. And I look at history and trends.
Mm-hmm.
In the history of the world, there are very few exceptions where an incumbent who's eligible to run for another term does not. The one example everybody points to Nelson Mandela. He was qualified to run.
Mm-hmm.
He did not run. Surprisingly, Lyndon Johnson was president of the United States. He replaced Kennedy when he died.
Mm-hmm.
And then he could run twice. He ran once and he won. And he could run again. He also withdrew. I'm not aware, and I've done a little bit of research, of any other situation where an incumbent president was eligible to run again and did not run. Right? That's why I think there's high chance that Joe will likely run, just based on our history. But I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. But just based on the history, it would say likely.
Okay, so thank you for accepting our invitation, but we're going to open the lines. I'll leave for some few callers to participate. So I say to you, call us on those numbers on 07777 Better say call us on 07772212223, or you use our Facebook page, Sky Communications Liberia. Our special studio guest is Mr. Alexander Cummings. He is the political leader of the ANC, and this program is being simulcast on Prime FM 105.5, Joy FM 101.5, and Kia 95.9 FM. Let's go to the line now and talk to our first caller. Good morning. Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
Let me say good morning to the community, the president of the ANC. My name is Mohamed Amadou Balo, and a member of CMC. I'm the chairman of the response and defense team. I want to appreciate the ANC for Alexander Kume. We had
your telephone is bad. I'm not getting anything from you. Your telephone is bad, please. It's bad. Call us on those numbers on 077777107. Call us on 07772212223. Let's go back to the line. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Good morning to my and good morning to my president in the working. My name is Ishmael Johnson, and I talk from Boulevard Junction.
Go ahead.
Mr. Kumin, you have said it all, and I think that Mr. Kumin is 2017, 2023 is not the Kumin I'm seeing today. The Kumin I knew before he had changed to be a listening Kumin, and when you continue today, trust me, 2029. You'll be the next president of the brother Liberia. Thank you so much.
Call me on that number on 077777107. You be live for 5050 on Sky 107. Let's go back to line 2. Talk to our next caller. Good morning. Good morning. I'm not getting you. You're very, very low.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, thank you again. Please, my name is Mohamed Amadou Balo, member of CMC. Let me appreciate let me say good morning to President Daniel Kume, the president of the ANC. I want to appreciate you at least for bringing me studio to share his ideas, because we believe that whenever Daniel Kume appears in studio, we take upon our time to listen to him, because he brings a lot to the discourse. Because when you listen to him, you don't just speak from the perspective of opposition, but you listen to speak and also pour forth suggestions. We hope that Daniel Kume will be open for alignment and realignment, because we believe that if Daniel Kume and Musa Hassan Belete can able to join this country to go further. I just want to appreciate him for always availing himself. My name is Mohamed Amadou Balo, member of CMC.
Mohamed, thank you very much. Call me on those numbers on 077777107. Let's go back to line 5. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning to the political leader of the Alternative National Congress. I'm past to command. Mr. Kuro to me, you one of those are marathon boss. Somebody who attempts to pull up beyond the service spot. He is both in the commercial aspect and our body politics. But there's this thing I have. I've been symbol of my mind about his power leadership. Around me, it's around me. He's a good man, he's somebody who always fought for serious issues. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. But around me, I think around me, is just some of the most. disrupting people around it, people who are not people-centered, people who are not connected to the masses. You say out there around here, when you're supposed to have people who are not connected to the masses around here are seeing the representative be a tool.
Who does he have around him? Who does he have around him that are not people-centered?
You still get people, people without
Hey, ba. That bourgeoisie. What the people need who there? Oh, my man, ba. Then you must just leave the line, ba. The man get bourgeoisie, won't call the bourgeoisie then. Let's go back to the line, talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Timas, and good morning to the next president of the Republic of Liberia. My name is Omaru Yusuf Sharif, a proud son of small town, Soemakakomi County. I bring greetings on behalf of the people of the Western region to Mr. Cummings. We listen carefully, Timas. We nearly cried, right? On Mr. Cummings reference the issues of Bear Mountain on the revolution made by former Lezeman minister as to how our work would have educated us today as young. But today, our hopes are dying. But all I can say to those that go to mosques and churches and right, God has answered our prayer with Mr. Cummings. But what is currently happening to this country is we are not yet smart enough to know that Mr. Cummings is that holy answer by God. But all we want to say, we'll continue pushing hard. We want to encourage him and his family. We want to give her all Nigeria. Mr. Cummings is that single hope we have at this moment to help this country. And we will do all we can. We know the system is fighting back. We better to attack shot. So the masses support Mr. Cummings. But those that in power, those that are running the state right now, they are using the system that they are benefiting from against the masses by preventing this man coming to the presidency. I watched a video when you were in Rwanda. Timas, listen to this. Yes, it's a conference with investors and CEOs, over 1,000. Not a single person out of a government or private sector from Nigeria that will represent them. But only this time, Mr. Cummings. How do you expect this state to progress if you don't have investors and CEOs from Nigeria in sort of summit where you dare represent with billionaires of Nigeria, Ghana, and other African countries that are making progress? But one day, one fine day, that day comes 2029. God bless the nation, and Mr. Cummings will be at the executive mansion, running the economy of this.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Call me on this number, 777-777-107. You be live on 5050 on Sky, 107.1 FM. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
My dear brother, what's your name?
My name is Jordan C. According from Silver Legaton.
Go ahead.
Yes, and it's gonna tell me something that really inspired me before this morning. Yes, all mountain kids have been mountain looking for Labrador, Pineapple looking for Labrador, and after Meta looking for Labrador. 2006, Labrador was the highest iron ore producer in Africa, but now they see Labrador in that. Labrador boys, the government after national working. So you need to try Alexander Bennett to me. Alexander Cummings is the red leader for Labrador. I think Alexander Cummings is the leader to lead the young people because ANC party is formed is really working for the young people. ANC sending to school, ANC sending a lot of guys to school, same situation for all of people that are in need of faith, people who are getting money from ANC everywhere, every time.
Thank you very much. Call me on that number. We can take 3 more calls. We'll wrap up the program. Call me on this number, 777-777-107. You'll be live on 5050 on Sky. Let's go back to the line. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Team Jalate, and good morning to the political leader in studio. My name is Ali Kia, the National Institute of the ANC. We are particularly concerned about the Foria project. That project is a crime scene. And that is why the ANC is making every effort to unravel what went wrong in Foria.
Why you call it crime scene? Why do you call it crime scene? What crime has been committed there?
Because a big ever imagination, we saw concrete pouring out in the jungle of our explanation. Even the president admitted sinfully that the project was hidden from him. The speech to who is in charge of the state. If such a project can be hidden from the presidency, it's very unfortunate. That is why the ANC is trying to unravel the mystery that happened in Foya. And it is upon the government to establish around that project. If the government fails to investigate as the ANC has requested, we have other remedies to look forward to. Let the political leader mention we could use other means to compel compliance, because this is the Liberian people funds. Our funds must be accounted for. These people came to power on the mantra of rescue. You cannot start to do shrouded projects that are shrouded in mystery and no understanding. We say no to that. And the ANC going forward is going to question every step the government takes.
Thank you very much. Let's take one last caller. Call me on this number from 07777 You be live from 5050 on Sky 107. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Tilaje. How you doing?
Oh, I'm all right, my brother. What's your name and where you calling me from?
My name is Obadiah Kibla. I call you from up the Papa.
Go ahead, Obadiah.
Yeah, Mr. Tilaje, let me appreciate Mr. Cummings for all what he has said. One person who believes in Mr. Cummings so much. 2023, I supported this man, not even knowing him. But with all what he has said, yeah, he has just built a confidence that I should continue to support him. Mr. Tilaje, what I want to say to Mr. Cummings is let Mr. Cummings continue to engage with Liberian people and engage other political parties. Because we all know in this country, there's no one political party can win an election. So that with that said, I think it will help a whole lot. For some of us, we are ready, we are able, and we will continue to support Mr. Cummings everywhere, anytime, any day he appears on the party. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Producer asked me to take one more call, so we'll go to the line to talk to our very last caller. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name and where you calling us from? Have I lost him? Call me on this number, 07777 You be live from 5050 on Sky 107. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tilaje.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, go. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a voice of Samu Rasta. I really show up 1.4 in Zimbabwe.
From Zimbabwe, go ahead.
The Librarian for justice. Look, tonight, I have someone talking about collaboration. He said he opened door for collaboration. Because I want to know, I want to ask you a question. I want to know because you know the biggest record setter in Liberia, George Weah. He won the best tutor and he can win the presidential tutor. So I want to know because in case George Weah said he wanted to go as running list. Yeah, to be vice president because he said you want to be vice president, but he said George Weah said you want you to be a vice president. Would you agree? Yes or no question?
Thank you very much. So we turn over to Mr. Cummings to make comments on the callers.
Yeah, the comments were mostly suggestions, I guess, or comments. So let me just thank everybody. Ishmael, thank you for your comment. Umaru, thank you as well. Jonathan Court talked about bee mounting, big opportunity for our country. Not just bee mounting, by the way. As I said, if we don't change the way we do concession agreements, it can be a T-Maculata company will get the same results, right? So we got to change that model. Aliu called about the FOIA project. Yes, we're waiting for the LACC to respond to us and to do the investigation. I wouldn't quite use the words he used of a crime scene, but young people can use those kind of description. Obadiah, thank you as well. Obadiah and Mohammed from CNC talked about collaboration. As I said earlier, we're open to collaboration. But we'll do it differently from what we did in the past. Because we learned from some lessons from that, but open to collaboration. And then to, I guess, Anif Sabu from Zimbabwe. Look, I'm running for president. All right? You don't run to be somebody's VP, right? And I remind him and others that Our objective for getting into politics, right, is to work with Liberians so we can change the country. It's not just to get a job. And the job that gives you the authority, the responsibility, the obligation to change the country is the presidency, right? You are head of state, head of government, commander-in-chief of the armed forces. I mean, powerful role, right? And for me, the ambition is to change the country. The job is a means to an end. The job is what facilitates that, but that's not the ambition. The ambition is to change Liberia for the benefit of all Liberians, and our job allows you to do it. So that's why we want the job to change it. So that's the ambition. But again, let me thank you for the conversation. You know, always good conversations, good questions. Thank to all the callers, all the listeners. And again, let's continue to pray for our country. Pray for the leadership of Liberia. It's in our interest for them to be successful. We make no apologies for holding them accountable, for calling them out. But we want what's best for our country. And we want to encourage Liberians. We can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. You keep electing the same people with the same kind of experiences, you get the same result. And that Liberia deserves better.
Why do you think we keep going through the same pattern?
Liberia deserves better. Look, I think I take responsibility for not making the case powerful enough. You know, I don't dismiss the feedback from one of the callers who talk about the people around me. I think it's somebody. Look, if the perception is I gotta run people around me, I gotta do something about it, right? I don't think I did, but if that's the perception, then I need to fix it, right? So maybe it's all those things that, and I own my lack of success. I don't blame anybody for it, but we're gonna do many things differently this time around and hope we get a different outcome.
Thank you, Mr. Cummings, for accepting our invitation. We thank our sister radio station, Prime FM 105.5, Joy FM 101.5, Kia FM 95.9. And this is how we come to the end of this edition of 50-50. My name is Tim. Well, let me put it this way before we close. Our country's blessing is reflected in its citizens. If we are that blessed as assumed, you are cursed, because those two angles don't run parallel. We can't have a country.
I think we got everything from Mr. Cummings, so we have to switch over because we don't have enough time anymore. Okay, so I think we are off from the Sky Radio. We are now live again. So, Julius,
So when the gift is won, the citizenry will be
let's just
that reflection of that gift. On that note, we come to the end of this edition of 50-50. My name is Steve Max. Thank you for being part and parcel of this packaging of 50-50. Tomorrow morning again, I'll be here to discuss.
Okay, Julius, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Okay, we got a few more time yet. I just have to beg the guy in studio. That got a big dude. He's the coordinator for the radio station. So I had to pay some money again to Kia Radio just to keep myself going on this thing. So what's your take from the entire interview?
So Manette, let me first of all start off by thanking Tuzon for giving us the opportunity to continue a little bit longer. But you know, Manette, something that was said during the interview, a young man who called regarding the Bear Mountain situation.
Yes.
That actually brought tears to my eyes. When this young man said, we have been victimized, our resources are, taken away from us. We are not benefiting anything. And one thing that Mr. Cummings, understanding his position, look, we are blessed. God has blessed us with something that we continue to take for granted. We have a doctor. We are ill. But then we're saying to ourselves, we will not go to the doctor to treat us. Instead, we will go to the mechanic because the mechanic is our neighbor. We know the mechanic. I don't know how logical that is. Listen to Mr. Cummings. He was not only speaking of theory, he practicalized how we can truly transform Liberia. He told us the way. He was detailed when it came to the mining sector. He told us how we can truly get it done. Not one instant. He gave us a variety of ways that we can get these things done. He said one aspect is to do it this way. If we can't get it done that way, then here's another way we can get it done. And if we can't get it done, here's another way. Another country got it done and it's working successfully for them because I was there. I saw it happen. He gave you an idea. When it came to the economy, that is one of my area, like he said. My area, the economy, excuse me, I could get it done for you guys because I understand the economy. Guess how I'm going to get it done? We will minimize the wasteful spending. We will invest in the people. We will invest in the police officers. We will invest in the nurses. We'll invest in the doctor, the teachers, because when we give them the money, they will return the money instead of us investing in the big shots. Like he said, this is not going to be the issue of the big shots because my goal here, the vision that I have from God is to be that Joseph to come and rescue my people. That's why I learned the economy. That's why I did business. Today's Liberia problem is the economy. You ask every Liberian, if you were to open this phone line today and ask every Liberian, they will tell you the biggest problem today for Liberia is the economy. The young people are unemployed, and that's what Mr. Cummings is focusing on. And in closing, one thing he said that actually drew my attention, I hope every other person who listened actually took note of it. He said, if the people are concerned that those around me, okay, push me away from the ordinary people, I will make the needed changes. That's what a leader would do. He listens to his people. He said, people feel like that's what's happening. I will make the needed changes. If Monet Kishen, the general, is causing people to run away from me, Monet will not be in that position. I will make the needed adjustment. I will make the needed adjustment so that my people can feel closer to me and know that this boy from Point 4, this man from Point 4, this young man who actually grew up here, went to school abroad and came back is his people's seven. And I'm back here to get the job done for them. I close on that number, and let me get your input. And then hopefully we can get a few calls from our people back home too. Let them just see how they think about it.
That's what one of the issues that I took off. Look, whenever Mr. Cummings speaks, people gravitate to him. They understand. It's like he's teaching them how to do the right thing. The only people that really can get tense, and I know I will be listening to the Ministry of Information, they might come up with something that make no sense. They might come and argue and try to attack him when he speaks the truth. And the man is honest. Honesty, Julius, is the foundation of a leader. This man took responsibility. He said, if people complain about the people around me, then I have to make the change. I have to let people go. And this is what we're talking about. Liberians, if you listen to us, we are not close to Ellis Cummings. We are not in the cycle. But we are privileged to say that you and I, and Julius, myself, we can work together and make it better. Julius is not even a member of the ANC. He's not a member. Exactly. But it's a fair game. He went through all the candidates and look at this one guy. He said, there's something in this guy that I got to tap in. Ellis Cummings, if we're talking about friendship, I would never be on the side of Ellis Cummings. I will follow George Weah. I will follow other people. But this is not about me. It's not about you. It's about the country called Liberia and our young people. Our young people who are coming up. We said the old politicians fail us. Do you want us to fail the other people now? The young people? No. We can't. That's why we're asking all the young people to come in.
But Monet, Mr. Cummings, like he rightfully said, right? He's actually reaching out to the younger generation, the young people, because they will end up benefiting a lot more from his leadership. Guess why? Here's how I look at it. In the next few months, graduations will be taking place, or I think graduations were already held. But how many jobs have the government created, and how many of these young people who will graduate will be provided job opportunities? They will have to sit back again or go back to school again. When in other countries, as young people are graduating from high school, colleges, they are already starting to work. And it is based on their discretion as to whether they want to pursue further education or they just want to just continue with their professions. Now, if we don't have a leader who understands the economy, who can create jobs, who can go out there, rub shoulder with the big boys and say, look, here is an opportunity. Here is a young generation. 60% of our population are the young people. These people need job opportunity, employment. Come to my country. We will provide a feasible environment for you. We will create that enabling environment where we will protect you. We will not disregard the law. We will protect your institutions and we will give you opportunity so that these young people can serve you while we're giving jobs to these young people. What else do we sincerely need? We're looking for a group of politicians who don't care about the young people. Their focus is only on what goes in their pocket and not what goes in the pockets of the young people. Saddened, but the true reality is let the young people themselves speak for themselves. Get on the train right now. Be a part of the process for the true transformation that you want in your life. Don't make it about Mr. Cummings. Don't make it about Monet Kishan. Don't make it about Lofa Julius. Make it about yourself. You take on the responsibility, young people. Reach out to your neighbors. Educate them on what you want for your future. Reach out. Create your own nets. Ask for the support that is needed and let us all be a part of the process. So tomorrow you can be proud of your work. You can say, yes, I was a part of this process and it's working today. I made Mr. Cummings the president that he is today, and you will be proud of yourself because job opportunity will be made available for you. Mother, let's take some call, Monet.
Yes, and let's just take, we can take a few calls and Julia Tuzon. Maybe we can take 5 calls finish. Yeah.
Right. Man, look, I'm sitting over here, Monet. I'm so excited listening to Mr. Comey. I hope he continue to engage the people like this. Let him continue to do that because the people are very receptive. The calls alone tells you how receptive the people are. And let us see from our end over here. Let people call who listen.
Oh. Let's go to the phone line wire and talk to this person. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. Yeah, go ahead. Your name calling from where? Welcome to the platform.
I can't hear that caller. Can you hear?
No. Tuzon, we can't hear that guy.
We can't hear that caller.
Okay.
And when we finish, I will answer this guy. He live right in America, but he don't even understand it.
Monet, let the people forget these guys right now. We'll discuss them. Let the people back home charm in. Susan, can you work on the volume a little bit? Because we'd like to respond. There you go.
All right, thank you very much. So number to call 0777 959 959 or Bella Steve 0881 871 670 are the numbers to call and then be part of this platform. You listen to Mr. Gomez from the ANC, you listen to Julius, and you listen to Monique Kishan, the belated birthday man general based in the USA. So if you want to be part of this platform, number to call 777 959. Okay, let's go to America and talk to this person. What's up? Good morning. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask the panelists, you guys, I want to ask them a question.
Yes. Don't worry, I will answer. I will answer him. You know, McDonald, I'm so sorry
Hold
that
on,
you, my
hold
friend.
on. No, Monet, let him learn. Let him go.
I don't even want to.
Okay, so Julius and Munikishan, do you
Yeah,
listen to him?
let McDonald leave. Let McDonald leave. We'll respond. Well, let's take more caller from back home. McDonald is playing. He's purposely doing that. He understands the law, but he doing it purposely to serve as a distraction. Let's focus on the people. We will respond to him.
Oh, so number to call 0777 959 959 or better still 0881 871 670 and be part of the platform, the Independent Minds for a Better Liberia with Munikishan CKH General based in the USA. So whilst waiting for call, I think you guys need to respond to some of.
Okay, yeah, let's. So Monet, do you by any chance have that law?
Let me just post it for him first. The
Okay.
article where he's supposed to go and read. McDonald, you're my friend, but I think you're having a serious problem to comprehend. You
All right, okay, General, only that I talk to this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, your name calling from where? Welcome to the platform.
Yeah, my name is Ate calling from Papa.
Okay, Mr. Two, let's go ahead.
I think the next person I'm
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Amen.
Oh, thank you, Madam Two from Capital Bypass. All right, so Mr. Kishan, you can go ahead.
Okay, and McDonald, you don't even know the part of the chapter or the article where you even getting it from. You don't even know. I bet you. If you look at it, 1994, in 2014, the election laws, and you check on chapter 5, section 5A, I beg you, go and read it for yourself. But let me just give you a little bit what they say in there. You guys, I don't understand you. If your party and you participated in an election and the entire party, you ain't win no seats and you got less than 2%, you will be suspended for 2 years. But if you win a seat in a representative, the senators or whatsoever, you are qualified. CPP won 6 seats, maybe more than 6. So even if Mr. Cummings want to contest on the CPP ticket, he still qualified. 2, ANC was not part of the last election. Liberty Party was not part of the last election. But because of you guys so blind, ANC still has about 7% and Liberty Party with a 10%. So they stay free to contest. Even an independent candidate, if you get less than 1%, it will suspend you. So please, guys, that distraction, and to the facts checker, you fact checked me the other day. I said Dillon had 2% the first time, but you said no, I was wrong. It's 5. Why can't you fact check Dillon? Go and read the 2014 election laws. McDonald, I think you're having a serious problem. That distraction we can buy it.
So here's my thing, right? And Tucson, I want the people back home to pay close attention to this. Now, McDonald is from the UP camp. You notice that the focus has shifted from every other political party. Now, Mr. Cummings is the target. They're looking for every possible way. You know, Mr. Cummings said this today. They will throw every sink, bucket, dirt that is in the political space at Mr. Cummings. But one good thing I know is he's really strong. He's a strong man, and we will stand here. We will stay right here to erect the needed checkpoint. We will educate the people on what they need to understand, and they will learn it, because the law that he's references clearly states.
Julius, let me hold you there. Let's talk to this person. Good morning. Good morning, Josephine. Josephine, welcome to the platform.
Thank
Yeah, we got another new female caller today. Ma Josephine. Oh, okay. Ma be another Ma Benio. Ma Sisi Ma. Yeah, General, go ahead. Talk to General. Yeah.
Yeah, she called me the other day.
All right, go ahead. All right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. No job. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Mm.
Okay.
Thank you, Ma'am Joseph.
Oh. Oh. All right. Thank you, Ma Josephine. All right, let's talk to Mohamed Donzo. Mohamed Donzo, welcome to the platform. We are good.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh. All right. Thank you, Mohamed.
All right.
Well,
So-
let's talk to this person. Good morning. Yeah, afternoon. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh. So let's talk to this person. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, I think we lost him there because of time. So Julius, let's go ahead.
Okay, so quickly, let me just respond to Mr. Donzo, who said, let's wait for 2030 to elect Mr. Cummings to the presidency. I want to say this to you, Mr. Donzo. I want you to think about Man Josephine, who just called the radio. Do you want Man Josephine children to keep unemployed for the next 6 or 12 years? Because you, Mr. Donzo, you have selfish desire for your political party or for one individual. You love President Williams so dearly. You agree that Mr. Cummings is the most competent of all of the candidates. You agree Mr. Cummings can create jobs, to bring jobs, but you want to selfishly keep Man Josephine children in poverty. Those young kids who just graduated from high school, no job for them. You want to keep them where they are because of your selfish desire. Come on now. We can't be like this. If you will be giving job, every Liberian should be given opportunity. It should not be based on political affiliation. It should not be based on tribal line. It should not be based on your desperation for one individual to become president because of popularity. Right now, the only person that can resuscitate the economy based on their expertise, based on what they know, is Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings, because he done it before for other big corporate institutions. We need him now in Liberia. We don't care what other people say. This is not about politics. We are saying we as Liberian, we want Mr. Alexander Cummings. We are begging him, and we are grateful that he accepted our appeal to come back and run again. We, the Liberian, the commoners, those of us who are not politicians, like you guys who are politicians, we are appealing to the general public to say, let's put this man there so that Man Josephine children will get jobs. They will not have to beg nobody. Man Josephine will not get up in the morning and have to worry. What will my daughter or my son get, okay, after a graduation? Those are the people we are fighting for. We are advocating for a different Liberia this time around. A Liberia that will compete with Ghana, Ivory Coast, and other countries around the world. Let us not be selfish to those young people who are graduating from college or high school. They need jobs. And that's why we are going to hire Mr. Alexander Cummings to bring the job for us. That's it. We are hiring him to get a job, and he knows it. And that's why we'll continue to tell you, we're going to hire you to get the job done, and we're not hiring you to come and enrich yourself. Something he have already promised us that, no, that is not the direction in which he looked. He said, I have rated private jets before. I flew in private jet. That is not my concern. I have been to places. That is not my concern. My concern right now is to leave legacy, create job opportunity for young Liberians. So when I'm no longer in the presidency, the respect for my generation will continue. Thank you, guys, and thanks to all of you for listening. General Tuzan, it was a great show, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you very much, and Julius. I just want my friend McDonough in Minnesota, just take this and go and Google. Since you say we should buy other party, Google this thing. You're UP man, and it's so sad. You playing the tribal line. You my pele brother. You play the tribal line, but I want you to go back and read this thing for yourself. I am not making it up. I want you to read it. Take your time and understand it. You are afraid that if Alex Cummings get in the race, because Alex Cummings will whip President Bouaka one-on-one any day, anytime. But you are afraid. So that the news, you and Delon and other people, you will not distract us. We will try to educate you. Because since you refuse to be educated, since you refuse to act as you know the truth, but you still want to act blind, we'll open your eyes. So please, they're telling you, if you don't win no seat at all, then, but one day again, you are telling about Tiamon Gonglo. So do you know who not qualify? The people you said are better than Alex Cummings. From Tiamon Gonglo going down, they are not, because they ain't got one seat. Sarah Beslow, she cannot run. And Moneyback cannot run. Tiamon Gonglo cannot run. Simeon Taylor cannot run. Simeon Fremont. So I just want to let them know these things.
But
No, man,
they think they're going to distract us.
that's exactly what McDonald won, right?
Yeah.
McDonald wanted to
So
take
we're not
away
going to
from the
waste time.
message.
Yeah.
Right. He wants to
Right.
take away from
So
the message today that actually resonated with the people in Liberia.
yeah.
So he wants to take it away. So we'll not distort the message right now. We'll focus on the things that Mr. Cummings said today and let the people
Yeah.
go with it. The next time
Yeah.
we'll deal with McDonald's on
Yeah.
another topic.
So guys, tomorrow we'll be on the same station, same time, and I want to say thanks to Top FM in Grand Julia. They had the whole thing live on the
Thank
radio,
you.
and also D3 in Sano. And Julius, have a very beautiful day, and let's
You
be
too.
careful out there. And
All
bye for
right.
now, guys. Thank you very much. Bye. Okay.